Just adding some comments to the previous video. I did something quite wrong, and so thanks to Matt for the info on this one. Needs to be linear, especially the pre-behavior here. So that's what caused this thing in the beginning. I had this curve. It's still there, but now it seems to work okay. So it's much less obvious. So yeah, just remember that. There's not too much to comment on this. That fixed some of the problems. Not all, but some. In this example, I removed the morph. So if I go to this view, you'll see that I had this morph as the object moved further along. So these are animated physical lights. So they are actually objects. So that in this case, I just turned these off for this scene because I don't think I need them. We'll see though. I'm not going to test this all that much more, but again, just like the other scene, the object moves like that. The null moves up, of course. And the glow intensity and radius is based on that null by using a channel follower. So got the value of that, and the radius got the value of that. That's actually minus because I want the glow to be less apparent. Glow less apparent as it moves further away. Intensity more apparent as it moves further away. Here I up the samples. So if you don't have a lot of samples, it will flicker. The glow filter will flicker if you don't have a lot of samples for the anti-aliasing. So here did pretty much the same thing. I tied the anti-aliasing samples to this null object. So further away has a lot of anti-aliasing samples. Closer the object is, it has much less. It has, as you can see here, 10. It starts at 10. So this frame starts at 10. Maybe this should be linear. Yeah, doesn't matter all that much. You could even disable this one and just set it to a high value like 500. But if you don't do that, then what's going to happen is that when you get to a far away render, the lights will start to flicker. So one frame will look great, but then as you move on to the next frame, it will start to flicker, and the next frame will have a different brightness. So here, since I scrubbed this timeline, you can see that it says 300 samples. If I go to frame 40, 298 samples, 16, frame 16, 140. So you might want to tweak that, but anyway, just a test for now. This here So this is linear, and this is TCB. This is Bezier. I think I found that, I don't know why, but so this one, if I render at frame 60, I'll put it another way. So if I take this one, and it's pretty much like that, right? I could delete it now just to get a straight line, but I'm not gonna bother. So if this is more of a straight line, then frame 60 is going to be less bright than frame 100. That's not what you want. So that's why I made a Bezier like this. So if I render frame 100 now, it will have the same intensity. But again, if I go to frame 60, then that obviously should have more intensity. It's about the same, but further you go to the camera, the more apparent that will be. However, when you go to frame 20, it is very bright. So perhaps you just, I don't know, want to create some keyframes here and lower that quite a lot. Hold down to Control to move that across keyframes. Let go of Control. So maybe you want to do something like this. Perhaps. So this is pretty much an S curve. So if I render that over again, it should be less bright. Yeah, cool. At frame 10, then what? Yeah, not that bad. Frame 0. Yeah, alright, so it seems like this is somewhat okay. Then as it moves along, so this scene seems to be behaving okay when it comes to animating lights at a distance. So or rather light intensity. So I think that's about okay. I'm just going to save the scene and save the scene. And share it. So hopefully this is closer to what you want if you want to animate a spaceship with quite bright lights in the distance and then less bright closer to the camera.